guys, this is GFX Dude from TuckCove.com, and today I'm going to be going over the crop tool. The first thing you might notice from the get-go is that I have upgraded my Photoshop to CS5 from the CS4 that I used in my previous tutorials. That shouldn't be much of a problem for y'all out there watching my tutorials. If you're using CS4 or earlier version, the tools still apply, but my version might have a couple options that yours doesn't, so just don't worry about if I say something that yours doesn't show up with. So basically the crop tool is used to cut part of an image out of the rest of the image and get rid of the rest. So it's basically I make a selection and I'm left with only that selection and the rest of the image is removed. It's kind of like the opposite of the lasso tool. The lasso tool, I select the image part I want and I can move it, or I can make a new image from it. But the crop tool only leaves me with the selection that I want, which can come in handy sometimes. First thing I want to go over is the crop tool's options. If you come up here, you've got width, height, resolution, and then what type of measurement you want to use. We can clear that and then front image it. What comes up by default is the aspect ratio, or the dimensions of the image you're using, and it also knows the resolution of it. And that you really need to leave it to defaults unless you're trying to go with some print images or you know what you're doing pretty much. I'm not going into that advanced of a topic right now. But once you start using the crop tool, you are presented with some other options. So I'm going to go ahead and make a crop selection. I just click and drag, and as you'll notice, it's kind of keeping an aspect ratio, and I didn't realize it would do that. The reason it's doing that is because I have it. Let me undo that. It's because I have it set to the width and the height, and it's keeping the aspect ratio of that. So I need to clear that, and then I'll be able to make a freeform crop selection. So I want to kind of get rid of this bookcase in the background. That's my objective here. So I'm going to use my handles on the crop and readjust my crop selection. Try and keep this guy's up here's head, and I've got a nice little image there. And if you'll notice up here, once we have a crop selection made, we have options to delete or hide the cropped area. And what that kind of does is it's going to delete everything outside of the cropped area. If it's on hide, it'll just temporarily hide it. The crop guide overlay, it gives you the rule of thirds, which you can see you have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is the rule of thirds. You can Google that. We can go with none. We can also go with grid, and that just kind of lets you line up your image if you wanted to make a perfect selection of, 1 inch, 2 inches. For printing purposes, the rule of thirds will help you with that. We've got shield color, which kind of just, as you can see what's happening. And the opacity is the opacity of the shield. I can make it 100%. Can make it 5, 17, whatever. Put it back to 75 just because it's nice. And with perspective, the camera kind of realizes what the perspective of the image is, and it tells me that should be the center of the image. But I'm not going with the perspective. And after I've got my selection done with the crop tool, I can either right-click it and hit crop, or cancel it to back out of the selection. I can also make a quick selection here. Okay, I can use crop and, go away. The crop and cancel buttons up top, and I can also press enter. There's 3 different ways of doing it. One last thing I would like to show you with the crop tool is a nifty little option for the rotating of a crop. So as you can see, it's going to crop this image at this rotational axis. So I'm going to have my rotation there, and I'll click check, and as you can see, it kind of realigned the angled part of the image to be vertical and horizontal instead of leaving me with a angled image. And this could be used for making image collages, for nifty little effects. I really don't use it that often, but I have found a couple uses for it when I'm doing like an image collage. So I'm going to undo that and just go with the basic crop it, and now as you can see, we have just the part of the image I wanted to keep. So guys, this has been a tutorial from TuckCove.com, and thanks for watching.
I am staring down the barrel